Andal or Kodai Devi is a venerated Alvar saint of the Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya. She lived in the 8th century and is the only female figure among the 12 Alvars who are followers of Lord Vishnu. The word Alvar means one who is immersed in bhakti or devotion. She was an ardent follower of Madhura Bhakti or sweet and loving devotion towards her chosen Lord Vishnu. The 12 Alvars composed and sang devotional songs in chaste Tamil in praise of Sri Mahavishnu and his divine female counterpart, Sri Lakshmi Devi. Their poetry was compiled together as Nalayira Divya Prabandham, that is, 4000 divine hymns. Once a devout Brahmin named Vishnuchitta lived in Srivilliputtur, a town near the Madurai region of Tamil Nadu, India. His daily duties were to procure flowers for worship of the Lord at the local temple. One morning, as he went about his work, Vishnuchitta discovered a baby girl lying under a tulasi plant in his flower garden. Vishnuchitta had no family of his own. He felt it was the God's grace that gave him this child and named her Kodai, or the gift of Mother Earth. Filled with joy, he took her home and raised her as his own. Kodai grew in an atmosphere of love and devotion towards Lord Vishnu. Vishnuchitta doted on his daughter in every respect, whether it was singing songs to her about Krishna, teaching her stories and philosophy, and sharing with her his love of poetry. All of this made an impression on little Kodai's mind, who decided to marry none but the Lord of Brindavana himself and refused to think of any other human being in similar terms. She adorned herself daily with the flower garland her father had prepared for the Lord at the temple and admired her reflection in the mirror. She thought of herself as the Lord's ideal bride. Then she would put the garland back for her father to take with him to the temple and offer it to the Lord. Once Vishnuchitta noticed a small strand of Kodai's hair on one of the garlands that he used to offer the Lord at the temple. He was shocked and reprimanded his daughter for her misuse of the garland and discarded it. He carefully prepared a new one and offered it to the Lord, begging for his pardon all the while. That night, after Vishnuchitta had admonished his daughter, the Lord appeared in his dream and asked him why he discarded Kodai's garland instead of offering it to him. He told Vishnuchitta to continue to give the garlands once worn by Kodai. Vishnuchitta awoke from his dream and shed tears of joy. He realized that his daughter's love for Sriman Narayana was so intense and pure that even he had not comprehended its extent. Her spiritual greatness was such that the Lord himself wished to share her presence. Thus, Kodai became known as Andal, the girl who ruled the Lord's heart. She was referred to as Sudi Kodutta Sudarkudi, that is, the lady who wore and gave her garland to Lord Vishnu. Andal wrote two poetic works in Tamil. She compiled these poems in her teenage years, and they display a high level of literary and religious maturity. Her first work was called Tiruppavai, the path to Krishna. This is a 30-verse poem that describes her deep love to serve Lord Krishna and attain eternal happiness. Her second work is called Nachiyar Tirumuri, or the Sacred Sayings of the Goddess. This is a poem of 143 verses that reveal Andal's intense longing for Lord Vishnu, her divine beloved. Andal blossomed into a beautiful young woman as she came of marriageable age. When her father broached the topic of marriage, Andal stubbornly refused and said she would only agree to marry Sri Ranganatha, the Lord, at the great temple town of Srirangam in the present-day Tiruchirappalli district of Tamil Nadu. Vishnuchitta despaired and wondered what was to become of his young daughter. One night, Lord Ranganatha appeared in his dream and asked Andal to be sent to him to Srirangam in all her wedding finery. Thus, Vishnuchitta made all the wedding preparations and took his daughter with him from Srivilliputtur to Srirangam, the abode of Lord Vishnu, who reclines on the serpent Adisesha as Lord Ranganatha. The Lord appeared before the priests at Srirangam and ordered them to cordially receive the bridal party that arrived from Srivilliputtur. Andal awaited eagerly as the wedding party entered the temple. Andal was unable to restrain herself and jumped out of the palanquin. She ran into the temple sanctum sanctorum and embraced Lord Ranganatha and disappeared in a blaze of glory, having joined her lord. She was only 15 at the time of her spiritual union with Lord Vishnu. Om Namo Narayana.